I purchased the Lorac Mega Pro 2 off of the Ulta website the other day. They had sent me an email, which I probably would have never bought the palette if they would have never sent me an email in the first place. But they had released it to Ulta Platinum Point members for like a day, but tomorrow is the official release, and I believe it's going to be in Ulta stores and Ulta online, and I don't know where else it's going to be other than Ulta. Anyway, it was 59 bucks, and I kind of just succumbed to the hype of, or the excitement of getting the Lorac Mega Pro. This year the packaging on the Lorac palette is a blue color, and it also has that slightly rubberized feel to it. However, the packaging is cardboard. It's nice and sleek. It's the same size as the Lorac Pro 2. And then inside of here you do have there's a mirror up here. It doesn't prop itself up. It actually folds all the way backwards. And then you've got your 2 rows of matte eyeshadows on the top and your 2 rows of shimmer on the bottom. There are 32 eyeshadows in here. And on the back it says there's a total of 0.45 ounces of product. And when I did the math, that's 0.014 ounces per eyeshadow, which isn't a ton of eyeshadow. So there is a lot of like colors in here, but there's not a ton of product per eyeshadow. This is what's on my eyes today, and I do have a demo for this look towards the end of the video if you're interested in seeing how these performed for me. I used 2 different shimmers on the lid, and then I used 4 different mattes from the crease upwards. Now typically I don't have the best of luck with Lorac matte eyeshadows, and while I do like the way that the look came out, I did have to take those precautionary steps. Like, I was a little bit more careful when I was applying them because I can't over blend these eyeshadows because then they start to go patchy on me really easy. The formula of both the mattes and the shimmers are consistent, in my opinion, to both last year's Lorac Mega Pro palette and then also the 2 regular Pro palettes from Lorac. When you put your brush into the matte, they tend to kick up some product. They're slightly dusty feeling. And then also the shimmer shades, they kicked up a little bit of product as well, and I did have a slightly bit of fallout through here. It wasn't terrible, but it was there. And while I can get pretty looks out of the matte eyeshadows from Lorac, it's something that I have to work a little bit more at, or be a little bit more careful about how I apply them. So here is your palette up close. Right here, there's your mirror. And then here are the shades, and then the top 2 rows are matte and the bottom 2 rows are your shimmer. You do have a lot of light shades over here, like highlight type shades, but they all have a slightly different tone to them. I'm going to go ahead and swatch this by 4 sideways so that the pinky and the ring finger will be the matte shades, and then the middle finger and the index finger will have your shimmers on it, if that makes sense. So we'll start over here, and these are really, really soft eyeshadows, which, because they're so soft, tend to kick up some product when you put your brush in them. So those are the top 4. And we'll do this next row. They're so soft. They are buttery, buttery soft, but that tends to make the mattes a little bit thinner in texture. So for me, on my dry lids, that's where my blending can get patchy if I'm not careful. Moving on to these ones. Getting towards the middle. Two more. And then the very last row here. That blue looks like one of the colors that was in like that metal palette that Lorac released. That's what it reminds me of anyway. So the maroon one is last year's Lorac Mega Pro palette, and then the blue is this one's Lorac Mega Pro palette, so you guys can get an idea of the comparison of colors in the two. And then here is a color comparison for you guys from the Lorac Pro palettes. The black one on the top is the first Lorac Pro palette. The gray one on the bottom is the Lorac Pro 2. And then you got your blue Lorac Mega Pro 2 right there. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I do feel that there is a nice array of colors in here. You've got, you know, half matte, half shimmer. I do like the shimmer shades that Lorac makes. They're quite pretty. And when I go to use the Lorac mattes, they're just something that I can't reach for if I'm in a hurry or something like that, because it takes a little bit more time for me to put them on. I can't over blend them. Otherwise I get to a certain point, depending on how I put them on and layer them, where they will stop building on each other after the patchiness. If you see my Lorac Pro 2 palette, you'll get a gist of that, but I just have to take the extra steps to make sure that these blend nicely for me. I do have dried lids, so if you want to see these eyeshadows perform and how I got the look that's on my eyes, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. I already primed my lids with the usual suspects, which is the NYX eyeshadow base in number 1 mixed with number 3. I'm thinking sparkle on the lid and then matte from the crease upwards. So I'm going to go into this shade called Olivine right there on a flat shader. This is a Goss 18. And I'm going to pack that on the center of the lid. Using the side of that same brush, I'm going to go into the shade Prosecco, and I'm going to put that right in front of Olivine and blend them together. Using a Chikuhodo GSN 9 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Forest, which is one of the mattes. It's like a matte forest green color, and I'm going to place that on the outer portion of my lid and bring it up through the crease. On a Chikuhodo J146 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Burlap, which is right there, and I'm going to start blending out the edge of the green color with caution. Then on a Goss number 3 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Bisque, which is right there, and I'm going to put that underneath the brow. Then on a Chikuhodo J5533 brush, I'm going to pick up a dash of Tawny, and I'm going to fade that up right through here. Here is the eyeshadow done. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eye makeup, liner, brows, and mascara, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. I'm going to line my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Pink Venus. And then to fill them in, I have a NARS Audacious lipstick, and this is in the shade Bridget. It looks like that. That lip liner matches this like perfection. Huh. So there's the overall finished look using the new Lorac Mega Pro 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!